for so long. We're so damn excited that we put it in a song. Don't need no check downs. Give me big hits and quarterbacks. Keep your fantasy team from falling off the track. Football is back, Jack. Whether on the ground or through the air, when the chips are down and you throw a prayer, when your team is primed and on the hunt, it's 4th and 10, you refuse to punt. When the shoulder pads and helmets crack, that's how you know that football is back, Jack. Let me hear you say, football is back, Jack. This high is wild and out of control, and we're gonna ride it every week till we reach the Super Bowl. Don't need no check downs. Give me big hits and quarterbacks. If you say this game's the best, I'll say it's a gag. Football is back, Jack. Football is back, Jack. Football is back. Football is back, Jack.
Oye, Pablito, what's good, bro?
Mira que yo resuelvo.
Fuck Billy Corbin.
De pingao. Sinvergüenza.
Cortaditos.
Chocolate.
It's a guy who is blank. Prick.
Mira, una colada que compré aquí. Por tu madre.
I imagine it would be like, yo mama, por tu madre.
Saludos.
That's great to hear.
¿Cómo sentimos de los huracanes? Oye, los huracanes.
La Universidad de Miami y los huracanes viven en el corazón de nuestra familia. How'd I do?
Guess where we're doing the party? We're doing it at Bird Bowl.
I love you, Miami!
So no matter how you wrap it up in your fancy, happy music, I sit right at the center of what is blatant, obvious, and offensive cultural appropriation. I can't believe what I'm about to say. Zaslow looked great as a Cuban Theo yesterday, but Greg Cody somehow looked better. I'm not kidding you. If I put Greg Cody next to Akahachina, 12 beers in, and I say, Greg, just don't say anything. He is the coolest of the old Theos. He doesn't say anything. You don't know what's you don't know what's in his past, but he absolutely looks like a fusing right now of my grandfather and my uncle. He's bringing them back to life with the way that he looks. Greg Cody could absolutely pass as Cuban Theo better than even Zaslow.
Is it the beard?
It's the face. It's the entirety of the face. It's the age. It's battered by South Florida sunshine and the islands for 50 years.
I don't know, Dan. The more I see Zaz, the more I'm transported into my childhood. Like, I know 11 guys that look exactly like that.
Can we put them side to side, please? Send out a photo and do a vote of who looks more like the Cuban Theo, who's not saying anything at the barbecue. He's had too many drinks. He's sedated. He's been at this party this way every time we've gotten together for 30 straight years. Like, nobody knows him. He's super mysterious. He says nothing. He's just there for the drink and the smell of the pig that's dead in the backyard.
He's el hijo de la tia abuela. And I'm like, oh, I don't really know him. My mom told me to be careful with him, that he's a little weird. Then I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Nobody knows his past. He's never said anything at any of these parties. He just drinks, and there's pig there, and he's there to everyone, and he's family.
I have one of these in my family. I'm not going to say his name to protect. Not innocent.
We all do.
But they were always like, hey, as a kid, they told me, don't go around him. Don't bring the kids around him. Like, we don't know what is going on. Not in that way. We just don't know what he's going to say.
All right.
We don't know what he's going to say.
I'm not comfortable with the cultural appropriation. I also am not comfortable with something else that's happening because the game has arrived, all right? My phone's never done this with tickets before, ever. And former players already complaining that they can't get tickets. That former players, champions, are like, whoa, Miami does the big event giant. Miami always does the big event well, and this is the biggest of the big Miami events. This school mattering brings generations of bandwagon to the party. What do you mean Miami can just pay attention for 6 or 7 minutes and then gets to celebrate as the winners at the end because they weren't, too busy windsurfing all weekend to pay attention to the local football team that has always been a source of pride? I'm driving yesterday, and Stephen A. Smith is saying no manner of hugely objectionable things about the world that I wanted to comment on every 5 minutes for the last 2 years. But finally, he pissed me off yesterday when he's like, does Miami have a chance? Is this even going to be a game? Like Indiana, and Stephen A., you came sniffing college football 3 weeks ago. Don't try to pretend like you've been watching any of this. Miami's playing a home game for the championship. Do you people have no sense of history of what that means? Miami wins that game, always. Miami changes the fortunes of everything happening in football around here. When you bring it to Miami, throw the party at them. And Indiana, have you played this? Have you played this size of crowd? Because you went to Iowa, and Iowa, you struggled at Iowa. I was tough. And you went to Penn State, and Penn State was a failure this year, but that was tough. You've never seen this. This is Revenga. This is Scarface. Do you remember the scene in the movie? The scene in the movie, the one we all love, 10 minutes of it was filmed in South Florida, and then they chased it out because our people are very powerful and said, get that racist shit out of here. Pacino doesn't sound Latin at all. And we ran that whole film off, but it's ours. And in the middle of that, Tony, you probably have family that were in that camp, no?
Not in the Mariel boat lifts, but obviously everybody knew what was happening at that point. I did do a Tony's Top 5 from that exact spot, and you were like, why are you there? And I'm like, damn, because this is a massive piece of our history. This is Revenga. And then you're like, it's not that big of a deal.
Well, it is a big deal in the movie because it's what you have to do to get to freedom from Cuba, even if it means killing somebody under a highway. Because
again, he was part of the Cuban police, though, Dan. That's
Stephen Bauer became a star here, and Pacino already was a star. Talking about cultural appropriation. But what the riots under the bridge? What did it sound like as Stephen Bauer roamed the premises with a shiv? So now imagine what Indiana. Mendoza! Fernando! Come on. That young man knows what he's returning to, right?
He'll have a lot of people there. That's why it's a home game for him as well as it is for the Hurricanes.
I want to give all the glory to God.
That's part of the reason why the point spread is an insult to the Hurricanes. It's an insult. The fact that it creeped up over 7 points, that's an insult. Mario Cristobal's playing that, man. He's playing it all week long.
He was playing that when they were favored.
Well,
he was going into meetings saying, they think we're going to lose by 1 million.
How this gift is what I'm legitimately asking you guys. Mike keeps getting tired of me talking about the context and the history of the program. But when it comes to feeling like the U is back, you've been fighting for something, how in holy hell am I living in a universe where the world has made Miami an overwhelming underdog to win a home game in Miami? In what world? Like I understand how many people would look at the last 2 games and just say Indiana's going to ransack everyone. They're undefeated. It's hard to go undefeated. But have you no sense of history when you think of every time the championship comes to Miami to be played by Miami, by a Miami team you know that's as good as this one, that has pros on the field, that Miami team wins at home against everybody who's ever played college football, even the very highest of the sport, which Indiana hasn't been except for the last 5 minutes.
So I need a little bit of help with this because I was too young. I'm pretty sure the Canes, 3 of their first 4 national championships came after wins in the Orange Bowl, right?
3 of 5.
Okay, yeah.
3 of their 5
right,
were
but
at
3
home.
of the first 4, from 83 to 91. And I'm curious, I feel like back then those games in the OB was probably 90+% Canes fans. That's not going to be the case for this game. It's a home game, but it's going to be closer to 50-50, right?
You would imagine. I mean, that's what the national championship game in a neutral site is supposed to legislate. Basically, 25% allotment goes to the Miami Hurricanes, 25% allotment goes to the Indiana Hoosiers, 20% goes to corporate, and then the remaining percentages go to the primary market. And as we've seen, some of those tickets already got snagged up, and you're getting insane prices.
I got a plan for today, by the way.
My phone has never done this. My phone has, what it is presently doing, my phone has never done outreach from all over the place to get tickets to this game.
Call them schnurrs.
You know the seats that I sit at usually? I don't have access to those Golden Cane seats, obviously.
Do you know who's going to be in your seats?
I know what they're going for.
No, but like who? Like
I don't know.
It's some major corporate sponsor.
No,
right?
but like it's six figures. It's what those seats are going for just for this game.
Wasn't Mark Cuban saying he wanted a discount on the tickets?
Struggling.
Yeah, he was talking to Connor Stallions. Weird.
The other thing at the center of this that makes it so fun is Miami, all of Miami can bandwagon around the big event. And this part makes me smile because of just how ridiculous it is. The Cubans never get to feel this about their guys in sports. The Cubans always are fighting to maybe be a reliever in baseball or even pitch in the World Series, but they never get to be the star of the biggest football game in America's sport. Never, ever do the Cubans ever get to feel what they have in this game, which is, are you shitting me? The coach and the quarterback went to the same high school.
And it's in Miami. It's crazy how the stars have aligned.
It's insane.
For Indiana to be here with a Cuban quarterback that went to Columbus, the same high school as that Cuban head coach of the Miami Hurricanes, to be playing a national title game in Miami, Florida, you couldn't write a better script.
This never happens for us. And that's all I was saying the other day at the mural. This never happens for us. Cuban kids don't get to turn on the TV and see kid that went to Columbus. Oh, that could be my cousin. A guy that went to Columbus that went through all the stuff that your parents went through as second generations in this country. We never get to see that on TV, right? Now we get to see it live and in color for the biggest stage. Indiana, Bego por ti!
That's the weird dynamic about this game. If this was Ole Miss against Indiana in Hard Rock Stadium, Mendoza and Indiana would be the team. They would be worshipped. Mendoza would be worshipped in South Florida this week. But because it's Miami, there's no losing team here. If I look at it neutrally as a journalist, there's no bad story to write off this game because it's two wonderful stories.
My thought, though, placing all of those elements in front of you, not even just the Cuban parts of it, like, what's the context in the last 50 years outside of the first time they played Nebraska, the first championship they won, because Tom Osborne went for 2 when a tie would have given him the championship.
Yeah.
Failed to get a 2, starts the Miami dynasty. And all the time in there. When do I get to make Miami, after all this excellence, this kind of underdog where Stephen A. is asking whether this can even be a competitive game?
Yeah.
When it's a game in Miami, and if that's ever happened, we've seen the very beginning of this didn't quite have all the pros that when it was Portis and Gore and McGahee in the same huddle, or the secondaries, Sean Taylor and Ed Reed. This isn't that. This is not that. They do not have all the pros on one team. But the idea that this team is here, this program is here, and you've seen physically what they've done to the last 3 teams they've played, in what world is that a touchdown underdog viewed by America to not have a chance in the game?
The world in which Indiana has won their 2 college football playoff games by an average of 34.5 points per game, Dan. Like, we have watched Miami all season. We have watched the way that they've improved. We have watched all of that. But everyone else is looking at Indiana, rightfully so, as an undefeated team that has physically dominated every other team that they've played.
I think it's ridiculous that they're a 7.5 or 8.5 point favorite as well. But to that point, it does make more sense that they are that, as opposed to the line being a lot closer to even.
You mentioned the line. You know the last time Miami lost a game by more than 7 points? It was 2023 against NC State. Tyler Van Dyke had his meltdown. We said with teams, with lesser Miami teams, that teams that have this advantage along the line of scrimmage, historically in college football, they do not get blown out.
Yeah.
And I understand why people are gassing Indiana up. They've been incredible. That stat where Mendoza has 8 touchdowns and 5 incompletions.
And the cheating part, right?
I'm not going there, but Miami's prepared.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is Indiana cheating, and is Miami prepared for that?
Prepared for the cheating.
Maybe they're cheating by giving all the glory to God.
Miami's run through teams with top 10 defenses, especially against the rush, throughout this entire run. Tony circulated the stat that's all out there about the difference in size. Miami is that's the whole thing about cheating and knowing what the plays are. We can tell you the script. Miami's going to run a gap. Ohio State was prepared for a gap. You know, Texas A&M was prepared for a gap, and these were great run defenses. And Miami just mano a mano won.
It's the revenga. It's the play. The play is not a gap. You're calling it a gap with all your fancy coaching jargon because you insist on being an offensive coordinator. Here's the play, Indiana. Cheat this. Revenga. Right behind.
Por el medio.
Right.
Revenga por el medio, dale.
Yes, I've heard that Le Batard whimpering. Run outside, right outside. No. Revenga right up the middle. It's going to be 2nd and 3 all game. Dan's going to complain about the tush push over here, but he's going to love it when those Canes get 8 yards because their offensive line is just throwing Fletcher 8 yards.
And I did call for the execution of a guard on the Buffalo Bills by the electric chair, but if Enes Cooper wants to pick up Mark Fletcher and go 15 yards, we will celebrate that.
I will say, listening to this show for the last few months, the analysis when it comes to how Miami's going to go about these games have been pretty on the nose. And the game that we were nervous about was Ole Miss because they did things that neutralized Miami's pass rush. They were more effective at getting home on the quarterback than Miami was in that game. Why? Chambliss gets rid of the ball quick. That proved to be a very real thing. Heath gets rid of the ball at 2.42 seconds a clip. Mendoza holds onto that ball longer than 3 seconds.
The perception, though, of the championship game swung wildly with the results of the 2 semifinal games, right? I mean, Miami barely gets by Ole Miss, and 38-3 over Alabama. I mean, they humiliated.
What Greg is saying is right. Quantifiably, the advance line on DraftKings for an Indiana-Miami neutral field matchup in the CFP final was 5.5.
Yeah.
And it ballooned up to 7.5.
Right. That's a big 2 points.
Immediately after that Peach Bowl.
Okay, but I keep doing this, and I feel like I must be using too many words and not communicating anything well, okay? The Alabama team that they're getting so much credit for it seems like so long ago, that Alabama team went to FSU to start the season and lost by 2 touchdowns. An FSU team that wasn't any good. An FSU team that I think ends up losing its last. Did they lose their last 9? An FSU team that has lost the state that is fighting over football presently to play against Indiana. I don't have it wrong, right?
You're right. I mean, I'm not saying Alabama's a great team.
No,
but 38-3.
Alabama got in on reputation. Alabama got in because we think of the SEC a certain way. To me, a victory over Alabama this year did not mean much, and Georgia was running around in uniforms that were Georgia's, but that's not the teams that you remember. All of the things in the SEC, all of them were. They were okay.
So including Ole Miss then?
Ole Miss included, yes.
Styles make fights. Transitive property is kind of dumb in this sport. And I think we know how this game is going to look like. It's going to be violent. And when you're in a rock fight, get out of here with 30-point spreads. That's not the way that this game's going to go. They're going to have to. They're an execution team. They're going to have to play a clean game, Indiana, to win this game. It's entirely possible that Miami plays a sloppy game. We just saw it. They survived in spite of that. But I don't see how this game's a blowout. But historically, in the national title game, it's either a favorite covers by a lot or a dog wins straight up.
Blowout for the Canes.
What?
You heard me?
No. Are you saying it on the record?
Didn't stutter.
Okay, wait a minute. Are you is this what you're saying now on the record?
Blowout for the Canes?
Yes.
He's a journalist.
What you're predicting. You're on the record now as you're Zaslow, ESPN college football game analyst. Your predictions hold, embargo, bake all week, and then you unleash them at the end of the week, and it matters what you say.
Sometimes I can't wait.
Okay, so this is premature prediculation.
Here's how this one's going to go. 90% of the betting public is going to keep listening to the Stephen A. Smiths of the world and keep hammering Indiana.
Yes.
Minus 7.5. That line will probably balloon up to close to 9.
Good. Keep doing
And
it.
then, before kickoff, that line is going to steam down 1.5 to 2 points. And then you're going to know because they know.
Yeah, that's when the smart money comes in. 2 days before kickoff, that line's going to drop below 7.
And that's not
Guaranteed.
a prediction. That's a spoiler.
Smart
I am
money's
sitting
right-
pretty.
Smart money's right here. Put your life savings on the Canes.
All right.
There you go.
So are there T-shirts here? Then you're gonna know because they know. Like there's a gambling T-shirt
Seems
there
like a
anywhere.
bad shirt.
Does it seem like a bad
A
shirt?
Bert.
Okay, because it felt like that's what you were telling us right there.
I've
you're
seen this
giving-
game a
you're-
million times.
you're-
Seen this game a
you've
million
seen
times.
this game a million times.
This line is going to steam down, and everyone's going to be like, "What's happening here?"
You're gonna manhandle them.
You've seen this game a million
Seen
times.
this game a million times.
Zaslow's on the record. Okay. So on Tuesday.
Yep. Do I look like I'm effing around?
No, you do not. I will get with Greg Cody here and get his thoughts on all of this in a second. But we really are going to have, annoying as it is, a week of build-up to this funny Miami event. And
Funny?
I mean, the business of sports is such that 5 years ago we weren't paying anyone, and now it's salary caps. And can your $21 million payroll beat Ohio State's $21 million payroll? All of this, like just to see the finances of this result in Miami in 4 years, Cristobal and Columbus buying their way into the business. They got a Life Wallet guy over here who's a bogus billionaire, and it starts with they sort of fake their way into, program is on its last legs here. Program's hurting. Program hasn't mattered in 20 years. Oh, they squandered all of it. Can Columbus go get us $90 million for Cristobal? Why Cristobal? He failed at FIU. Why would you do that? That's idiotic. $90 million for Cristobal. Fixes it in 4 years. Plays in the championship game. They won their way to the top of the business. Why do I think that's funny?
It's weird. I give you that. But Cristobal proved himself at Oregon. I mean, it's not like he didn't have a track record.
Greg, this doesn't get to happen when you think of the people who win championships, okay? They don't get to be this guy. They don't get to be the guy who had to climb his way up through FIU. Never mind the Cuban part of it. Who's still got the balls to go on television at Saban because he's worked with the best and now bosses around Jason Taylor. Bosses around Jason Taylor. I bet you if I talked to Jason Taylor, he'd tell me right now he's a little scared of that crazy Cuban. Legitimately scared of him because he's a lunatic.
These guys typically don't get fired at programs like FIU.
For Jason Taylor, Hall of Famer, to say, I'll get to coaching by being the guy who coaches your defensive ends. Yes, because I want to learn from this rabid Cuban. I want to get a shortcut to coaching here, learn Miami style. Oh, this guy ran FIU's business. How'd that get into a bowl game? Oh, then he got to run Nike's business. Oregon's still trying to be as relevant as they're still trying to do.
Yeah. Rest assured, coaching defensive line for several years under Mario Cristobal is no shortcut.
Look, man, Lane Kiffin ran away from Saban. Cristobal got in a 4-point stance and let's go, Saban.
Yeah.
Give me some more. I'll eat your eyebrows, Saban. You trim your eyebrows.
I admire Cristobal. I think he's real. I think he's a real guy. I think when he uses words like relentless and violent as a style of play, he means it. I think his players have bought into it.
That part's funny, isn't it? That every interview he does, like for sure, right? If I could get betting odds, the pregame interview, he's going to say the word violent.
100%.
Yes, the word, whatever the question is, the answer. One of the words, if I could take bets on this right now, we're going to do a live stream during the championship game, and I want to figure out how to be able to somehow do bets on this. For sure, in the pregame, the betting odds would be favored to say, whatever the question is, Mario Cristobal will bite it off in one sentence, and that sentence will have the word violent in it.
If we're playing a drinking game, the first-round draft pick is violent. That's my word.
Let's play the drinking game. Let's do that on Monday night during our live stream.
Mass kicks ass.
That's going up against sweet local kid Fernando Mendoza.
I've never seen myself in an athlete more than Fernando Mendoza.
Oh, man, I'm just noticing your shirt right now. You're bullshit. What are you doing wearing that?
No, this is absolutely the most I've ever related to an athlete. That representation of a Cuban athlete from South Florida, the starched all the glory to God, smile on my face, like that's the way I always approach the game. I'm going out there, I'm working hard, I'm playing for my teammates. It's the name on the front, not the name on the back. Fernando Mendoza, thank you for representing Cubans like me.
How we doing here?
If you shave, he would look like Mendoza if he shaved.
It's not a bit, by the way, audience. Jeremy is Cuban.
But what are we doing? They made it to the national championship game. You're going to just keep going until the very end, just doing this thing, whatever it is?
So supporting a local kid who has an unbelievable story, who's made it. Look at that face. How charming is that?
You're being a hating-ass hater.
Hating-ass hater?
Yeah, if this were Oregon, I guarantee you'd be dressed like Phil Knight.
It'd be kind of cool.
Have you not learned?
Have I not learned what?
Have you not learned?
Have you not learned?
The last 2 months have been you forcibly eating it. Yeah. Like they've been running it up your A gap for 2 months.
I'm pretty sure everything that I said was right.
Everything that you said was right. You said that James Madison should be in over Miami.
I said James Madison should be in.
No.
And they earned it.
Jeremy,
Did they?
You said Miami should be out.
Gotta want to learn. Gotta want to learn.
There were some teams that
right,
earned their way by winning championships.
Let me for a moment grab Mike by the collar because it's Tuesday and I want to settle everybody down, okay? Because the week began with the week began with fuck Billy Corbin, and if we still
it's going to end with fuck Billy Corbin too.
If
I just hope both teams have fun.
Jeremy, no, I want to do this with you. I simply want to give you the space to do it because Mike is taking his victory lap aggressively. He has been right about the things Miami is. They did
about everything, Dan.
Reputationally,
let me help you out. Been right about everything.
If I'm wrong about the SEC being a fraud, I may indeed be wrong about that. But they beat the 3 teams at the top of the food chain, and they.
You're not wrong about that because I was saying that months ago, and I was right about everything.
And maybe
24-14.
That's right.
And maybe or maybe not they would have beaten Georgia, and maybe or maybe not the analysis would have been, oh yeah, I remember Georgia's the best of the SEC. No, it's just another team in the SEC, like Missouri, like Vanderbilt. It was just another conference. As soon as the business got involved with all of this, and there are 16 teams, you think Texas and Oklahoma are one thing, and they're just everybody's in this game now, including Indiana, because the business of this happened fast, man.
Everybody isn't in this game. There are 2 teams in this game. They're going to spot the ball, and Mass is going to kick ass. Yeah. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay, but so I'd like to get Jeremy's thoughts as you want to run up the score on Jeremy on being right. Why? Because you said
his thoughts are bad.
He corrected you
bad
on
thoughts.
Bad thoughts.
Not a fan.
I want
bad thoughts.
I want facts from him. Jeremy was making a reasonable argument on behalf of the country. Mike, I don't think that you see some of the blind spots we have as a show, okay? Because yesterday on the show, you looked me in the face and you said Columbus High said, of me in this show, yeah, Dan, you're viewed as not pro-Miami enough.
Blind spots.
Ask our national audience whether we're pro-Miami enough or not. Like, you think I reputationally...
No, you in particular.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
I don't think we are.
You don't have... So
we're just located.
So
all that matters is what Mario thinks of you.
Mm-hmm. So, and the thing about blind spots, Dan, is they're behind you. Yeah. I got my eyes forward. All right? I got Hard Rock Stadium, January 19th. I don't have an obstructed view of that.
Adelante,
exactly
am I
there.
right?
So the ticket prices. And I locally during difficult times, difficult economic times, I think Inter Miami priced enough real fandom out. And look, it was a big championship won in Miami, and congratulations. But in the places that corporations and communities and ethnic feelings come together in sports, like this is crazy what we're in the center of right now. The amount of requests I'm getting for tickets, and the idea that former players, legends, like this place has a lot of legends. They'd like tickets. They want to know that they could be on the sideline. Not everyone gets to have Ray Lewis and Edgerrin James bring them out for a coin toss, unless you think these things not matter in the present age, okay? When Netflix went to get their best Washington player on Christmas Day, here's the pass. Here's Emmitt Smith on behalf of the Cowboys because he's the best they'll ever have. Who do we get from Washington? Oh, Portis. Portis is the best they got. A guy in a huddle with McGahee and Gore, because those Miami teams, they were Alabama before Alabama. All of the context matter, and it brings you to this moment and a team and a program and a quarterback who has never seen this. Like, Miami ravages every Heisman Trophy winner who comes through Miami thinking it's the best throughout history. Are you going to tell me, am I being an idiot and short-sighted and homerific when I tell you, how do the last 2 games matter to you more than the last 40 years? You tell me, am I being the idiot? Am I being emotional when I say, don't tell me about Indiana's last 2 games. Tell me about Miami's last 40 years in the brutal sport that births this caveman Cuban who's like, Revenga, A-gap, let's go. I'll fight you in the middle of the stage. And if Saban wants to criticize me from over there, fuck him too.
Jeremy and I have common ground here. Stop being a writer. You're being a writer too much, dude.
Yeah, the last 40 years, like the last 20 years has none of that. So it's not like that context that you're trying to apply to it is irrelevant. These last 2 games of Indiana, like this Miami team is spectacular. And what they've done this season is what should make you believe that they can stomp this Indiana team if they do. Not what happened 25, 30, 40 years ago. It should be this team. That's the one place Mike and I kind of tend to agree here.
It's for the fans. When Mark Fletcher lines up in the pistol formation, he's not thinking about Melvin Bratton. Yeah. He's thinking about 5 yards.
Right. It's also fair to say, though, that however much Miami and the Hurricanes are hungry for this, Indiana's hungrier. It's been like the drought here is.
It's a hungry off.
No, they're
24
not.
years.
How could they be
hungrier?
How could they be hungrier?
I'm hungry right now.
Because the drought here is.
They just started paying attention to football.
The
Get
drought
out of here with
The
hungry.
drought here is 24 years. The drought in Indiana is like forever.
They never knew success.
It's a basketball state.
Are you talking about the fans? Because the players,
Get Indiana, you're not playing the tortured fan base card here. All right, I saw what those crowds looked like 3 years ago. And you could say the very same to me, but in our crowd, there were 5 banners at least. You know the whole cliche about it's better to never have been rich at all? What the hell was that?
Someone's tummy. Who's hungry?
Dan?
Oh, it is a hungry off. It is. This is good.
It's a hungry off.
It's a hungry off.
That's
Let's
what we
find
distracting
let's see,
sound.
Who wants it more?
let's see who's hungrier, Indiana or Miami.
It's just like we were there. We tasted it. And we've been a joke for 20 years. Like, this is fun. I'm not saying that you don't want it. I'm just saying your torture I don't like it. Stop it.
I do like, though, it is a hungry off. That's what just happened. Look, you guys all just turned on Greg Cody. You turned on him.
It's okay.
Greg, no, is it okay?
I got alligator skin.
Come
at me.
Greg Cody volunteered for America, and you all chewed his face off. He espoused the opinion of Indiana's the hungrier team. And you guys rejected it, and you said, no, we're hungrier. And now we have, and Chris, don't push Chris off of this. He's right to do this to you. We have a hungry off. You think you can do a better game show than that? Do you think that you can do a better game
Matter
show
of fact,
than
I do.
I don't believe you can.
I think we
That's
will.
the sound of dancing swords right there.
I think we will.
I dare you. No, look. I want to do a hungry off as a game show now. You're promising me that later in today's show you could do something better than a hungry off, because that's where I want to go right now with Chris Cody. And you've been aggressive, and you've been aggressive for 2 days, and the victory lap has started with you being super arrogant.
I can promise that we will raise expectations and fall well below them with our own game show.
I do think it's funny that we're taking victory laps just by getting to the championship game as opposed to winning one.
You mean going?
Like we spent the whole week doing it.
No, I am a little bit, because Miami has beaten Notre Dame, Ohio State, Florida State on their path to this very game.
Who's Indiana beating?
A game in a tournament that they said Miami didn't belong in. The same people that are saying that Miami doesn't have a chance against Indiana, we're saying that Notre Dame would beat Miami had they played again, because Miami lost to SMU and Louisville. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy it. I got a couple more days to lock in and get in game mode, but excuse me if I feel myself and my head coach and enjoy being right for the last few months.
I'm just
because
glad
I've been in hell.
You got the opportunity in a new version of a playoff where the teams that never would have made it before get to make it now. Congratulations. I'm excited for you. It's cool. Your team got hot at the right time.
You're
It's
not
cool.
happy for me. Nobody
I
believes
am.
Jack shit over here. Jack shit doesn't know jack shit.
I literally almost took off my shoe and threw it just out of instinct.
Please make this character on the show. Please make. I would like to hear at some point from Jeremy as only Jack shit. Okay, the character Jack shit is the only one I want speaking to me. You guys are
Jeremy shit.
You got. That was your actual stomach I just heard.
No, it couldn't have been. It couldn't
Greg,
have been.
I mean, we
Greg,
can't hear you talk.
No,
about hungry.
unfortunately, our audio's not good enough in here. But comedically, I'm telling you, that was perfect. The stomach of Greg Cody just made the coffee sounds, and Greg, you've eaten nothing today,
Yeah,
correct?
dancing swords is what we call that.
I heard your stomach.
Pardon me.
I wanted to do a hungry off. I do think it would be funny. It seems like it's something that would delight Chris Cody. The idea, though, that we're looking, you guys are sort of rejecting the entire history of this. To me, I know about the now.
You're focused on that. I'm focused on Indiana.
But okay. But you don't believe at all if you're buying a coach to instill the culture of whatever the culture is that he learned from Jimmy Johnson to be a man who devotes his life to winning a championship in this sport. Okay, this is all story. It's all tapestry. I understand, but like you say, this matters so much to Mario Cristobal. To come to a program where you know what the standard is, it's higher than ever that Cignetti ever had. Indiana has never been this. I don't know how many years they've been playing football, but it has not been with this as its history and its bones. It doesn't mean anything if Mendoza completes 85% of his passes for 3 touchdowns and they drag you. But I'm not just telling a story here when I say Mario Cristobal has been here and he's been teaching these people about how he's been here, and that's the job he was paid to do. And he devoted himself to it, to be heir to Jimmy Johnson and these things. So if he's the man you think he is, and you know how he cares, it's not irrelevant that Mario Cristobal is like, what do you mean Cignetti thinks he's better and cares more about this than I do? What do you mean he's the highest paid coach in the game when with $90 million in 4 years, I built this and now it flexes on you. And now it's a gap. You tell me that means nothing?
Afterwards, it might. He's singularly focused. He's a psychopath about this. That's for other people to do. Like, he understands. It certainly made Mario Cristobal who he is. He knows what the standard is. He will not rest till Miami reaches that standard. But it doesn't. He's not an ego monster like that. I guarantee you. He's a very peculiar dude in that way. He's just so singularly focused on making tackles, building trenches, like talent acquisition. He's weird.
Well, the football facilities when I arrived at the University of Miami, as well as the athletic complex, were just horrible.
Our locker room was basically, we didn't have a carpet. It was like concrete floors and rusty lockers.
The weight room at that time was comparable to my weight room in high school.
The showers were horrible. It smelled bad.
You're talking about a universal machine and a few bench presses and a squat rack and a couple racks of dumbbells.
If the recruit said, well, are you going to show me the locker room and the weight room? Yeah, but you just mumble something and then we'll go show you the campus because around the lake was nice and beautiful and we wanted to get you to Key Biscayne. We wanted to show you Miami. But I guarantee you back then, that was part of the visit, was not to show the facilities to the recruits.
And just we're about ready to drop football, and the executive vice president pleaded with the trustees to give them the money to go ahead and see what they could do with the football program.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
And the argument on the other side, simply enough, is that Indiana has a plus 473 point differential this season. That's the best of any team since 2019. Clemson haven't lost a game and have dragged the two most recent opponents. And there's plenty of sound now in the library for how laughable it will sound if indeed you are right, America, that betting line is not disrespectful. It's where it should be. The money tells you where it is, and the money says Indiana on Miami's home field is a 7.5 point favorite. You understand why that's funny to me, correct?
It's funny because history. Yeah, you followed this sport. Indiana is the second most losing major program ever. Look, don't get it twisted. If Indiana does what the sports books say it's supposed to do, which is come down here to Miami and win this game that they're a 7.5 point favorite in, Indiana can lay claim to greatest team of all time. No team has ever gone 16-0. You mentioned the point differential. You mentioned they slayed the defending champion in the Big Ten championship game. They've gone through Alabama. And to do it against Miami, who's gone through its own murderer's row in Miami, I know that they don't have the talent of Jamar Chase or Sean Taylor and Ed Reed, but they're going to be in that discussion, especially with a Heisman-winning quarterback, and the fact that no one else has ever gone 16-0 and in a power conference. Get out of here. That's greatest team of all time talk.
The point differential thing is a bit of a mirage because you look at their schedule. They didn't really play a ton of tough teams. Kennesaw State, they beat 56-9. Indiana State, they beat 73-0. Larry Bird wasn't there for that.
No,
one.
it was the Illinois game. It was
UCLA
the
56-6. Maryland 58-10.
They'll put up 50 plus on you. Oh,
okay,
look,
on a bad team.
It's getting more. Look, it's getting more Cuban in here. We've got
Purdue. They beat 56-3. Zaz.
We've got another college football expert and Cristobal ally and friend and more Cuban than most of us, Jorge Sedano. Is this indeed Jorge Sedano Miami style or is this Hollywood George?
No jodas, Dan. Yo estoy aquí de Hialeah, ¿ok? Yo estoy aquí de Hialeah.
Oh, the city has gotten electric here early Tuesday. You can't have the loud Cubans in town this early. George, stay there for a second because Diana's on the phone.
Okay.
She's very busy this time of year. She's a senior NFL insider for The Athletic. She's the host of the Scoop City podcast. And we have 15 minutes of her precious time. It is very valuable. Football is lunacy. It is crazed. It is not overreaction to say, right? Last night's game stunk. Not surprising. The end for Aaron Rodgers will be interesting to people, I suppose. Best I've ever seen, 4-time MVP, collapses, wheels fall off at the end. Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game in 8 years. Bored by that team, bored by everything happening there. 8 years, you're exactly the same team. I'm really happy that Mike Tomlin is as great as he is. It's an amazing tribute to his stability. But they are the same team every single year. They've had 3 coaches their entire history. That team is not good enough, and their season ended the way you figured it would, with a defense that is championship worthy. We understand. Thank you for being with us. But Denver and Houston have defenses. Which is the better defense?
All of that to ask me what's the better defense. No, first of all, hello. Joey says hello. Thank you so much for last week being patient with us while he was fighting that little stomach bug that he lovingly gave to his mother, which I received yesterday. So that we had a fun day here in our household.
Well, so it's too much information, Diana, but thank you for bringing it back up. Greg Cody's stomach did make that noise in the last segment. He was too embarrassed to tell it. It would have been comedically perfect. He's had only coffee this morning and probably too much of it.
Yeah.
The sound came from his belly. Now that's where we are.
Right. I'm flying on caffeine. Diana, they call it dancing swords in my house. That means when you've got that sound in your stomach, you're going to repair quickly to another room in the house. I'm just saying that. I'm not going to get into any details.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, you paint a beautiful picture of what I was doing all day yesterday, except it was more from this part of my body.
Wow.
All right. Well,
which was crazy because I was at that Eagles-Niners game on Sunday. And in the post game, obviously, you can imagine there was so much to gather because there was so much excitement for the Niners after such a great win. And then, of course, the demise of this Philadelphia Eagles team. And I was fine. I was completely fine. And I do regret one thing. I did eat a hot dog, which I haven't had a hot dog in probably 5 years. But that's all the Philly press box had. And I was like, I need to eat something because I've got a long night ahead. And I drove home and it was like a 2-hour ride, and the whole ride I'm like, something's not right.
Yeah.
Something is not good here.
Dancing
Look,
swords.
You never want a stomach bug, but if you're gonna pick a time to have a stomach bug, we all agree post holidays. Yeah, you're kind of rooting for that.
Okay,
Like, take it easy.
do you
but
think it's worse to have the stomach bug as the driver or the passenger? Because I kept thinking, I wish I was in an Uber right now because I could open the window, I could breathe. I mean, I guess I could do that while I was driving, but I would pull over like, I don't know, every 15, 20 miles and just like on the New Jersey Turnpike and just be like, okay, we got this. And like the self-talk is incredible because you just don't want to because I knew if I lost it, what was I going to do? Just stay on the side of the highway at, midnight, 1 a.m. But I was able to toughen it up, and I got all the way home.
This is great stuff. Only here can you hear Diana Rossini talking about pinching a loaf.
Yeah, thank you. That's the exclusive domain of everything we're building here. There was plenty of football to talk about. I want to talk about the Eagles in a second, but you will forgive me. Video, can you please put the center of that room on camera just real quick? Not my parents. No, please. In the center of the room. There's a person in there who seems to be dressed like a wrestler. And I don't know who that person is. I can't see from here.
That's the host of my the game show that I just cooked up. It's called Domino, and that is former CCW Southeastern heavyweight champion Domino.
Yeah, that's
who
Domino.
Is the most Cuban person I have ever met in my entire life.
More Cuban than Sedano?
Yeah, more Cuban than Sedanos. All right, like this guy.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, this dude is aggressively Cuban.
I watched him in a street fight last week, and he was bleeding.
What?
He won.
That's all that matters.
Spoiler alert.
Okay, so that game show is coming up. But the Philadelphia Eagles, that punctuation, make it in fiction out of your imagination a worse ending than the one we've got for A.J. Brown in Philadelphia. And just what that city's going to feel about him at what should be a time in Philadelphia to be really grateful for the team that you had that ran physically roughshod over everyone, and then this season sort of ground to an halt, 3 and outs because however constipated they are with the football.
Yeah, well, to steal Domino's name, it really was a domino effect going back to probably October when it was really apparent that A.J. Brown was not happy. And I feel like nobody wanted to hear it. Everyone was in denial that how could a team with so much talent not figure it out? And it was obvious that this offense didn't feel like they weren't playing up to their potential. And everyone is just blaming everybody, right? Jalen Hurts appeared to be blaming the offensive coordinator. A.J. Brown was blaming Jalen Hurts. There wasn't a lot of pointing back at themselves. That was something I noticed throughout the whole season. No one ever came up to the podium or spoke to reporters and said, I need to be better. I have to do a better job. Everyone just kind of sat in the muck, in the yuck of this isn't good. Because here's the thing, that's the truth. I think now everyone knows. You should not be surprised that the Philadelphia Eagles lost in the first round of the playoffs. That should not be surprising. What did they show us this year? At what point did this offense ever put together a performance that made you go, this team is going back to the Super Bowl? They never did. The only times they looked decent were against the Giants, right? And that was just
the back end of the Rams game. Look, the Rams, this sport is weird, man. It's weird and it's crazy. So let me just step back from what you witnessed this weekend, okay?
Okay.
The dogs, okay, all of the underdogs, the Chargers end up collapsing at their end because their offensive line shouldn't have been in the playoffs. All the other underdogs either won or covered. The league is that close. And one of the games has, in the Rams, what I believe to be the best team in the league, only lose if they have 3 turnovers. Going to beat Seattle, except they could have used that rest, and that game needs to be at home. And they might have thrown away their season because they're a 5 seed because they left 5 of these close games. They played Carolina, worst point differential history of the league, fighting for their life in the first road game because of how hard all this shit is after an extra game and all these bodies are broken.
Yeah,
you
missed out on the Niners.
The most interesting thing from this weekend is a football I really care about this history and perspective wise. Crazy week. The most interesting thing in it was what?
To me, it was the San Francisco 49ers figuring out a way to win. I know we just spent a few minutes talking about that the Eagles stink, but Dan, I had the card in front of me in the press box, with the roster, and I was playing a game with myself of can I name the starting linebackers of the San Francisco 49ers without looking? Like, I didn't know who these dudes were, and we're in the playoffs here because they've been able to just piecemeal. Yes, Kyle Shanahan has been brilliant. Robert Saleh was brilliant. The Philadelphia Eagles were out-coached on Sunday. So I've always thought the Niners story was kind of cute. Like, look at these guys. They're playing with passion. They're playing with heart. They're finding ways to win. But I didn't think they'd be able to make it this far. So to me, that's been one of the best stories in football. This is a team that's been decimated.
It's interesting to hear you say that because empirically that sounds right in the value of things, right? How does San Francisco, even though all of its best players are hurt, how do they go and dethrone the most physical team and the defending champion, and they lose Kittle during the game? How, year after year, do they physically get to this point when they should have broken 3 times this season? How are they with Seattle as an organization and with the Rams when physically this whole thing should have been ground to dust? You would agree? And yet they still somehow win, and it's a mystery. And it's a mystery.
I don't know if it's a mystery. I think it's actually pretty simple to understand. You have a really good head coach who knows how to scheme and puts the work in and has the pulse of this team and understands ways to win and how to take advantages of the things that they've been facing. But also just asking guys like Trent Williams and Christian McCaffrey after the game, like, give me just in one sentence why you are able to be here right now. And they're like, we got nothing to lose. Like, we're not supposed to be here. And I think that's a dangerous place for a team to be in, at least for the opponents, right? Like, this is a good spot because they're playing loose.
It's just crazy.
They don't have to.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Diana. It's just crazy to me that the San Francisco 49ers are in this position again, because you're saying that they're playing loose, and Seattle and the Rams have looked better than them all season. They carried part of their season with Mac Jones. Darnold and Stafford don't miss games. San Francisco got to here fighting with these two teams with Mac Jones in the middle. That's if you're basically telling me empirically that they have a coaching advantage that is seismic between whatever number 1 and number 2 is in this league. That it's not small. It's like people don't understand the difference in value there.
Yeah. And look, he is definitely going to be up there for Coach of the Year. We turned in our nominations last week. I think it's going to be neck and neck with Vrabel. I'm interested to see what the voting is going to wind up being, because obviously you can give Mike also tons of credit for what they're doing with this Patriots team. But look, and the reason why I leaned towards Vrabel when I was discussing this with some people, I think just when you look at what they've done, how they've bounced back from what they were last year, and it's not like Drake May's got these incredible pieces around him either.
I just really am. When the body count, Warner, Bosa, Trent Williams is not himself anymore. Like, no. Physically, it's obvious that of course, the game is going to physically break all of them. Kittle goes down during the game. Purdy's Mr. Irrelevant, last in the draft. Pearsall's been shot.
And he missed less games.
Played with a bullet, played with a bullet immediately.
I embrace my stupidity pretty comfortably at this point. And so I've known Trent for years. I covered him in Washington. And so we kind of came up together. So he's one of the very few players that when I see, it's just like a really genuine conversation of catching up. And so I see him and my brain's going 100 miles an hour because I got a million things I want to do and see and talk to, people I want to talk to. And I'm like, hey man, what's up? I'm like, how you doing? You guys are great. I'm like, how you feeling? And he just in the coldest look was like, not good at all. And I was like, what's up? He's like, my hamstring. I'm like, yeah, but you're active. He's like, I'm active because I have to be. It's the playoffs. So I saw him after the game. I was like, how's that hamstring? He's like, not great.
Okay, Diana,
probably, so to your point.
Okay, but you're sitting here, you're grinning maniacally at the toughness of this human being. Can we just, for a moment, examine these incredibly strong people, human beings, are breaking each other every week. Trent Williams has been the best and the strongest among them for many years. He's part of why San Francisco is so good, and while Shanahan can look that good, he's been physically dominant forever. Of course, that's going to break his body. It's going to be totally broken, and now he can't play anymore. But he's on the field Warner and Bosa
and-
are in the box, and they don't have anyone out there except Mr. Irrelevant. Ayuk's not out there. Like,
and
it's
you-
not, they
and
don't
you've got
have
Fred
players.
Fred Warner's trying to get back. They're not going to open the practice window this week, but if they can get past Seattle,
no, he's not going to get back with a bro. He's been
the buzz is they're trying to get Fred back.
No.
So then you have this. Then you have in the second quarter, George Kittle goes down, and I mean everyone can see it on camera what happened. And so the Athletic had sent like 8 reporters there to the game. So I was sitting next to Mike Silver, my colleague. I'm like, I'm going to go to the tunnel and see if like anything happens, because it's George Kittle. Like, he's incredibly magnetic and he's got such a big personality. And he doesn't strike me as a guy that's going to get injured and just like put a towel over his head. So I went down to the tunnel and I see his wonderful wife, Claire, and Jed York, the owner, just walk in there, and they look miserable for obvious reasons. And so I'm just about to walk off, and I see a guy that I'd seen on the field that worked for the Niners, and he had a tequila bottle under his arm, and he went into the locker room. And I didn't want to make assumptions, but it was pretty obvious that that tequila bottle was for George Kittle. And it turns out that they took shots, and they basically just drank their heads off at halftime, or at least through the game, because he was so miserable. And Jed York had walked in there and was like, "Hey man, can I do anything for you?" And George is like, "Yeah, can I get some tequila?" So after the game, all the players went in there and they see George, and he's like hammered, and he's like, "Let's go!" And everyone started taking shots, and that bottle was on the floor, empty, obviously. So it was quite a celebration in a locker room that, from a team that wasn't probably expected to knock out the Super Bowl champs.
Slay that giant on the road, Mac Jones and Mr. Irrelevant again, without their receivers, now without their tight end. It's lunacy. It doesn't. Philadelphia, to me, wherever it is, I understand that Philadelphia gets emotional about these things, but there is no shame in being dethroned by that thing, which is represented the elite.
There is shame. I disagree. You are more talented. You are naturally more gifted on your field, right? And that's credit to how they structured this team. You've had the luck of very few injuries outside Lane Johnson, right? You are the better team on the field. Everybody knows that, based on who's able to play. And you let that slip away. You let a team that wanted it more knock you out at home, at the Link, coming off a Super Bowl. That's embarrassing.
Against a San Francisco team that had just gotten its ass kicked by Seattle in a really meaningful game. What was it, 16-3, 19-3?
13-3. Well, the Seattle defense can ransack you in the spot this weekend, Diana. Every team that's ever had the kind of rest Seattle has wins this game. And the only reason people wouldn't believe that they'll win this game is Sam Darnold. It is 2 words, and people won't make it about more than that. We've seen Seattle. Shanahan's brilliant. Seattle in the game for everything, before the games for everything, ransacked him. Like, Shanahan's never looked that bad. Shanahan, coaching genius.
Yep.
Didn't matter that he'll beat you with Darnold. McDonald to beat you, he'll be 15-2, and he'll beat you on the road with Darnold. And he'll beat you on the road with Geno Smith. That's what's happened twice, correct?
I am not going to sit up here and say the San Francisco 49ers are going to beat the Seattle Seahawks. I can just tell you, if a team that is going to continue this mentality that we've got nothing to lose, with maybe the carrot of a return of Fred Warner in the corner with a motivated defensive coordinator who's trying to get a head coaching job, is basically just putting on a display of his own talent and skill set as a coach, I don't know. And look, you're acting like Sam Darnold's had ultimate success in the playoffs. Like, isn't his narrative, isn't the story that he's not able to get off, get to the other side here?
Well,
and
we have
perform
the
at a high
call
level?
of get Sam Darnold seeing ghosts, the last Minnesota season that ended here when we dared to believe that Minnesota was what Seattle is this year. Zazlo, I want you to get in here, and I also want to start going, speeding all of this up, not because I mean to do this, Diana, but because there's so much to get to with you that I need to speed it up at 30-second bites on each, because let's start with Mike Tomlin. That's 8 straight years with no playoff victories and doomed in this purgatory of we're always going to win this many games, and should we bring Aaron Rodgers back? Oh, it's all over in Pittsburgh. That's what it's not going to look any better than that. They're another team that needs a quarterback.
I think it will look different. Look, we don't know what the future what the future is going to be. I know the Steelers want Aaron Rodgers back. We'll see if he continues to play. We'll see what Mike Tomlin decides to do. I think TV is a real thing. I think him stepping away is on the table. I don't think that's just a gossipy rumor thing. That's kind of one of those things that everyone around football kind of is like winking, like Tomlin's going to probably do this. He also has another year in his deal. He may want to return as well. So you have those options there. Then you've got, their general manager's got great relationships with a guy like Mike McCarthy. We'll see what happens if Tomlin does step away. Where are they going to go? Because, guys, look at this coaching cycle right now. It's out of control. I can't even keep track of how many people the Titans are interviewing right now.
Okay, Diana, look, so I know there's a lot here, and I am gonna tighten you up. This is going to be right here. This game, 30 seconds on each thing, and then we got to hit her with a sound of some sort that tells her time's up, because I know you can talk for 10 minutes on each of the subjects I'm about to give you.
Just tell her to be quicker.
Thank
you.
Guys,
I
could be
you need to be quicker too. Yeah, faster.
I don't understand why you guys want to speed me up. If I have good information, you should slow down.
That's exactly right.
What I'm giving you.
Short
like this
attention
is.
span.
I'm not the person to speed up if I'm a football fan.
Wow.
I'm the one you go, hey, stop talking and let her tell you everything she knows.
Slow down,
We have to
eventually.
wrap.
No, I'd say the 30 seconds.
All right.
Well,
your show.
Let's not fight over this. It seems as though there was a report that teams are just going to ignore Marcus Freeman and still try to talk to him about these head coaching vacancies.
Yeah, I think Marcus Freeman is still going to be a guy that people keep an eye on. They want him. I just don't get the idea or thoughts or information that Marcus is actually going to do it. I don't think this is the time he wants to do it. We'll see, though.
Diana, did the Packers win or did the Bears lose?
The Packers lost. That was like 15 self-inflicted wounds. Credit to Caleb Williams, who figures out how to win in the fourth quarter.
What a
9
sucker
fourth quarter
move.
wins. But I just think Green Bay collapsed.
Man, I'm embarrassed now.
Diana, is that little kid right? Does Kevin Petula need to be flipping burgers?
Brutal.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Brutal.
That little kid.
He was electric.
That little kid is the symbol of Philadelphia. They need to make him the mayor. I think, I don't know if he's going to be flipping burgers, but I think they're having serious conversations about the future of Kevin Petula there. I do not think it would be surprising if they decide to move on from him.
That was so bad, Zaz.
Zaz, we're writing
going
it
to cover
down.
that one in the post show.
We're
I'll
writing
tell
it
you that
down.
right
No, we're
now.
going to cover it as soon as she's off the. No, it's
Bears lose.
No,
A mid-segment meeting.
I'm going to hear that replay several times.
That was bad.
He asks good questions. I always like when Zaz talks because he always asks me real things. And he
Yeah,
wants
but I
to
just
know.
embarrassed myself in front
Why?
of you, Diana. Because my question, see, Diana didn't even pick up on it.
No, but she's not playing the same game you are. We have expectations around here. Around you, you waited 10 minutes.
I love that he's
before
wondering if
talking.
he's embarrassed by what he said.
No, I'll
he's
explain
dressed
it to
the way
you.
he is.
So that we don't exclude.
What's wrong with that?
Hey, this
So that we
culture is my
don't
costume.
Exclude.
This is my look now, Diana. This is how I dress.
Okay. I will tell you what happened there, Diana. I don't want to exclude the audience about what we're laughing there. What happened is Zaslow hadn't spoken for about 14 minutes. He really was the Tio. He really was the Tio at the party who
Living the
doesn't
gimmick.
speak, and everyone just believes he's Cuban.
I love rooting for my
And so
teammates'
the
demise.
entire show turned to him, and he was just going to hop in and out with a question that was 2 sentences, radio professional, and he stumbled over one of them, and 4 of us noticed, but he saw that we noticed, and the show fell apart right there, Mike enjoying that Zaslow had tripped over the jump
For a
rope.
second, I was hoping no one noticed.
He's
For
a radio
second.
professional, been
Yeah,
doing it
he
for 20
panicked.
years. Don't talk for 15 minutes. Here's your chance. Here are 6 notes. Don't fuck up one of them. And then
The pressure. He's Sam Darnold.
so,
Wow.
okay, I'm sorry. Harbaugh, either one of them, 30 seconds on each.
John Harbaugh's going to have his choice. I think he really wants to stay in the NFC. I think the Titans are interesting because they've got Cam Ward, but I think for him, he wants to be in a division that's not in his brothers. And also the teams in the NFC, like the Atlanta Falcons and the New York Giants, are pushing hard. And I think those are going to wind up being the teams that he zeroes in on over the next few days. As for Jim Harbaugh, look, I mean, when is he going to get Justin Herbert to a point where they're going to get further in the playoffs? I believe in his program. I know what he does is really well. I just think it needs to be better with such a good quarterback.
Do you agree with me that the Chargers' offensive line didn't belong in the playoffs and that Harbaugh should be prosecuted for criminal charges for close to manslaughter for the way he made Justin Herbert play the last 6 weeks of the season?
Look, he had no choice. He had no choice. He had to do what he had to do to try to get this team to as far as they were able to. Justin is the reason why they're playing in this playoff team with absolutely no protection. They can't look, injuries happen, it's going to be part of it. But his brother's going to have a pick of the litter, so to speak.
Can you give us the latest John Harbaugh situation? Because the Dolphins are not interviewing him. He's not, and why is that? And what do you make of the Dolphins hiring the GM? It's weird that the Dolphins would handle things the way that they've handled them and not feel like
Is it actually weird?
They were going to get in on Harbaugh. The Dolphins had to have planned to get in on Harbaugh.
Yeah, so I'm with Zaz there. Like, it's not weird because they're very clear with how they want this to operate. We saw it with Chris Greer all those years. They were very transparent with their process, and it was, we are going to hire a general manager first. We don't care about anything else around it. And that's their choice. That's how they think they can build the correct structure. Obviously, Troy Aikman has had a big say in there, which is why the general manager that landed there is probably had the inside track from the start. Troy was a huge fan of his. Look, the conversations with John Harbaugh right now it's a lot of screening, we'll call it, where every team has talked to him. Just because nothing's been formal, like you haven't seen the tweet from the team account, like we have formally interviewed John. There's been so much back channeling and work done by John and his camp to try to get to know each of these teams, their ownership, the structure, how they want this to run. So don't freak out if you're a Dolphins fan and you want John Harbaugh and you haven't seen anything formal. They've talked to him. They know what he's looking for,
Diana.
and they know what they can get from him. So I just don't think that the Dolphins have the inside track on John in terms of his interest.
Do you guys have anything football related for Diana? Because I want to let her go. The Mike Ryan is distracting me. Diana, thank you for your time. I'm sorry that I interrupted you a couple of times. There's senior NFL insider for The Athletic, host of the Scoop City podcast. She is great. Her information is exceptional. I was saying yesterday, there's just a handful of people doing it this way, like really mastering both information arts and walking through where all the conflicts are, right? Because all of these information people are in conflict with each other. So she's walking a tightrope, but while she's doing this, Mike Ryan is staring at Zaslow and shaming
He won't stop
him.
staring at
well,
me.
Zaslow won't look him in the eye.
I embarrassed myself in front of Diana.
Zaslow will not look Mike Ryan in the eye. The Mike Ryan victory lap continues all week. He's burying people, and he's being Miami about it. He's being arrogant. He just saw Zaslow trip over. Zaslow just got offered a lob there. A lob.
Yes.
What do you laugh?
It was an alley-oop. Zaslow had an alley-oop, and instead it turns into a career low. What an embarrassment
All
for
of a sudden, you got a
for
lot
my
to say.
friend Zaslow over here. Wow. I mean, I can only imagine.
Well, but so this just happened. We just all witnessed it. Zaz is ashamed, so ashamed he will not look Mike in the eye because they know 20 years of production.
Look away.
20 years of production history between them. They're like, no, that's the lob that I dunk.
The Packers win or the Bears lose. Oh my God!
What a dork!
That'll never go away either.
You heard I stumbled the Bears part because mid-sentence I realized I had it backwards. The Packers win or the Bears lose.
Wow. Bears was plural.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good. I think it's a pretty good explanation for what happened at the end of that Packers-Bears game.
The Packers win or the Bears lose.
Okay, so look, that is what happened. That is the correct. That is the correct analysis on that Packers-Bears game. You know what allows Ben Johnson to run off the field saying, "Yeah, I'm not apologizing for that. Bleep the Packers."
The Packers win or the Bears lose.
And the answer to that is people say I knee-jerk yesterday. Don't you remember, Dan, the Falcons were up 28-3 in the playoffs? Yes, but as a statistical probability, the time left in that Packers-Bears game to lose it again when you were in the positions that you were in, it's an insanity that the Packers threw away another season in a more bizarre way than they did a couple of weeks ago to a Bears team that has the cruelest loss right in the middle of that.
The Packers win or the Bears lose. Wow. Yo, tell Mike stop staring at me.
That's a two-time champion broadcaster who just made that faux pas.
Get his ass, Greg.
I mean, it's undeniable.
Fry him.
You got to live up to the standard.
Good for you,
man.
Greg. You've been waiting for 2 years for this.
Thank you.
The Packers win or the Bears lose.
Nice hat, asshole.
Both of you.
It is mean how much delight you are getting from Zaslow tripping over that jump rope right there. It's absolutely cruel. Do you know the
It's also the coffee.
Do you know the hellscape that the next 8 days are going to be as we build up to a live stream on Monday night, and it began on Tuesday with Revenga and a career error from Zaslow. A career stain for Zaslow.
I'm hurt, dog.
As he ascends in the media industry, trying to keep up with Meadowlark Media's standards.
The Packers winner, the Bears lose.
That's the best analysis of that game I've heard anywhere.
The Packers winner, the Bears lose.
Joaquin said dominate. Guess what you did?
Please put that in the time capsule as representing Zaz for accurately describing this play during this historic time.
The Packers winner, the Bears lose.
That's exactly what happened, yes.
How can anyone take me serious now?
Exactly.
To be honest, if he was a Cuban Theo, that's how he would have asked the question.
Yeah.
Because he takes the S off the end of bear. Let's play it one more time.
That's right.
The Packers winner, the Bears lose.
Did the bear lose?
I think anybody ever took you seriously.
I mean, neither of those things happened. The Packers didn't win and the Bears didn't lose either.
Or the
It's
bear.
the dumbest question.
But at least it was smooth delivery, pal.
And you heard Diana said she likes when I ask her questions. And now it's like I'm a bumbling idiot. The Packers winner, the Bears lose. I've lost all my credibility with Diana. The Packers winner, the Bears lose.
Just
Bears
Diana?
lose.
You think just Diana is where you lost your credibility?
That shit's important to me.
Look, do you know how hard it is for me to throw you the alley-oop? But oh no, Cody's dunking on you.
Me cago en tres.
Good.
Coño, Papi. Bobby, did you hear what Zaslow just said? What do you mean, me cago en tres?
That's a 10 for me.
What do you mean? Hold on. My father's here. I saw my father somewhere. I saw that there's a wrestler in there.
Poppy's getting ready for Cuban trivia.
Me cago en tres. My mother's back there. Mom, do we want... Oh, listen to this. No, my mom is waving off the camera. Okay, I want you to zone in on my mom there. And go ahead. I override her wanting to hide from the camera.
Wow.
No, because I need to
She
shame...
points and Poppy just...
I need to shame this woman. No, I need to shame her. I'm going to publicly out her
Don't
on
do it.
something.
Don't do it.
No, I have to.
Don't do it.
No,
Tony,
man. Respeto. We care about you.
Tony, I have what I
O sea,
believe...
falta respeto.
Tony, I believe I have traitorous news within the Le Batard family.
Whoa.
And when my mother said this to me, I was legitimately offended as schoolboy Dan, all of a sudden, school spirit guy. My mom's like, yeah, rooting for Mendoza.
No!
As she should be.
And I'm like, Mom, we paid for that school. Mom, what do you mean? What do you mean you're rooting for Mendoza? And I want her outed. She's traitorous back there. Look, she's hiding behind my father. Tony, you say I should be respectful, but no, that's no respect of Miami history.
You're right.
I'm not sure it's respect of Cuban history.
You're right.
To root for Mendoza.
A sweet young man like that who represents the Cuban heritage.
You
the
can't
right
root
way.
over that over Cristobal when she married Cristobal. She didn't marry Mendoza.
But she raised Mendoza.
She birthed Mendoza, yes.
Well, Cristobal could be your brother, right? It could be like one of your family members, like rooting on your brother, like same age.
I believe bigger news than Zaslow saying finally the Heat should trade Bam Adebayo is my mother, the
respect that guy?
The Le Batard family, a member of the Le Batard family is rooting for Fernando Mendoza in a Miami Orange Bowl. Like, you guys have never seen or looked at my mother this way.
It's not surprising. That whole generation loves Mendoza. I'm telling you right now, Mendoza could run for president.
Which party?
Look, he went to Columbus.
The right one.
But he also went to Berkeley. We know that he can work across the aisle.
It's offensive to me. It's offensive that my mother's looking me in the face. I'm like, what do you mean you're not like torn about it or anything? No, she went Mendoza. And I'm like, but I went to school there.
My dad downloaded ChatGPT just to send me Mendoza photos.
So, wait a minute. The abuelos are rooting. Oh, so, okay. Wait. So this is abuelos.
They're
This is
torn.
abuelos quarterback. Abuelos quarterback.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, if Miami was not in this game and it was in another location, my dad, who barely watches college football, might fly into that city to root on Fernando Mendoza. You have no idea what this guy has meant to the older Cubans.
I mean, I would be wearing a Mendoza jersey if the Canes weren't in.
Yeah,
let's
like
be honest.
Sedano, you should speak to this because like Mendoza is an archetype of a good Cuban boy. that has made the most of himself in this country. Like, Mendoza is a dream scenario for the older Cuban heads.
So let me tell you something. I met Fernando Mendoza last season. Okay, I did 4 of his games at Cal. And the minute I met him in a production meeting, he came into the room after the coaches to talk to us. We looked around, we're like, wow, I love that kid.
Dude,
holy moly.
You put it in the group chat, and you were like one of the older Cubans because you met him, and you were like, this Mendoza guy's amazing.
He's incredible. And, like, this was after the Miami game. I had him shortly thereafter, and I had him 4 other times the rest of the season. And he's the sweetest kid ever. And, you know, we were talking about Miami and Cuban life and this, that during the production meeting, and then eventually we got to football. So I fell in love with him. And I do love him. But not on Monday. Not on Monday.
Not on Monday.
Not on Monday. I love him. I'll love him on Tuesday.
That is
win
why,
or lose,
see,
but I don't love him Monday.
So I'm willing to say publicly, put her back up on the screen. My mother, comunita. You
Wow.
You can't.
Dan?
No, I'm good
Dan?
with it. I'm good with it.
You be
can't-
careful. That is disrespectful. Walk it back.
You can't say that.
Don't. That is
Not that
third
one.
rail.
Not see.
Yeah.
Maybe even
Oye,
the fourth one.
Tranquilo.
Perhaps a fifth rail.
Not the C word.
I know what you said, but tell Zaz.
You can't be pro Mendoza. You can't be my mother and be not pro Mendoza. You can be pro Mendoza, not more pro Mendoza. You can be very happy for Mendoza in the pros. You could wish him a great deal of well. You can't root against the school that made your son when your son's entire career is born on the back of this school's program.
I think you can do both. I think you can root for a narrow Miami victory despite 6 touchdown passes from heroic Fernando Mendoza. That's what you root for right there.
Did you see Zaslo's mistakes, Sedano? Here, you can come laugh at Zaslow as well. Look at what happened here. He analyzed the end of the Bears-Packers game.
The Packers win or the Bears lose?
Wow. 2-time champion broadcaster.
He asked Diana Rossini this question.
The Packers win or the Bears lose? Literally, neither of those things happened.
A fall from grace.
You all right there, pal?
Sedano,
Did you have a stroke?
So you're going to do a game show
Yes.
better than the game show that I was going to do, the Hungry Off, the Who's Hungrier, Mike? You're going to make
I'm not sure it's
going to
be better. It might be a mess. But that's what this show does.
It's got a better name, though.
Dominion.
Better name.
Next.
now, correct? Completely dead. There's no one. Is there anyone throwing the knuckleball now?
Someone has to be throwing it.
I would say Tim Wakefield was.
None of us
bad.
have one. We're just like, yeah.
No, there has to
There's
be.
got to be. Well, wait a minute. The knuckleballer didn't go extinct without anyone telling us.
As long as there's breath in my lungs, there's a knuckleballer out there.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo, at Le Batard Show. As long as there is breath in your lungs, will there be a knuckleballer out there?
There should be more because if you notice, I mean, I don't have any stats to back this, but I don't care. I'm going with it regardless. I would say that the position players that are pitching have a much better ERA than average pitchers do because they're all just going out there throwing the ball like 35 miles an hour, and the hitters are so confused that they just get under it, they pop up. Like nary a run is scored off of a position player sometimes, but not always.
I loved when baseball analysis was starting strong. I loved the people who would do the analytics on how a knuckleballer would screw up your hitters the next day. For the preparing for a knuckleball would screw you up the next day as well because you're sitting out there hitting those 45-mile-an-hour butterflies.
There's nothing that I hated more, like growing up watching the Marlins, than when Jamie Moyer was coming to play against them. And I don't even remember if he was a knuckleballer or if he could just only hit 75.
Slop. It was just slop.
He could only hit
he was not a knuckleballer.
72.
He was just old, and he threw croutons up
Anytime
there
was a knuckleballer or just an old man that could throw the ball really slow, I knew like this team can only hit fastballs, and this is going to be a long day and a long week because they're not going to be able to figure it out.
And it's frustrating because you're just seeing these meatballs go over the plate. You're like, how can you not deal with this? This is so slow. Hit the baseball. And yet Jamie Moyer had a 20-year career. He was 40. He was still pitching.
What is the ruling of the committee? Is Stugotz is nominated? I need some sort of formal ruling from the committee. He has nominated Joe Musgrove. Billy is passionately against. Chris, are you willing to give him horse status because horse status is before ace? Horse is not an ace.
Chris, before you answer, I have good news on the knuckleballer front. There is still one remaining. Mickey Janis of the Orioles is still throwing it.
Okay? The worst team in the league.
He's still out there, though, keeping the species alive.
It also
will not
seems
go
though
extinct.
Mickey Janis has only pitched one game in 2021.
Oh.
In Major League Baseball.
He's still trying.
Still breath in my lungs.
Yeah.
He is currently with the Chicago Dogs of the American Association of Professional Baseball, which I don't think is in Major League Baseball. So
it is extinct.
So it is extinct for now, yeah.
But extinct in the majors doesn't make it extinct as a species.
Yeah, exactly.
This may surprise you, Dan, but there are only 33 pitchers who have ever thrown a knuckleball in a Major League game, according to
wrong.
Wikipedia.
That's
which
wrong.
I was surprised how small that number was.
I don't think that's wrong, Billy. Why would you think that's wrong?
That's wrong.
Let's all name knuckleballers we can think of and see if
Well,
they're
no,
on
we'd
there.
never come up with 33 of them. 33 sounds about right to me. It's a terrifying way to make a living. Imagine all these guys. They're just failed pitchers who developed some other
Whoa.
Failed pitchers.
Someone with like a 15, 20-year career is a failed pitcher?
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy Moyer is not a knuckleballer. You made him a knuckleballer just because he throws
Tim
soft.
Wakefield.
Soft toss.
Yeah, across decades.
There are a couple of guys who are exceptions, but largely the knuckleballer is a novelty freak who comes out, and it is hard to make a living that way.
Jeez.
Freak, what are you
I don't
doing?
like how you're describing these things.
Right? Isn't Phil Niekro in the Hall of Fame? I mean,
is he? I don't think so.
You don't think so?
He is in the Hall of Fame.
319 wins.
There are 4 knuckleballers.
What was his career?
What's your standard for the Hall of Fame?
No,
He
that's
also
my,
had
that's my bad.
274 losses.
No, that's my bad. He just pitched forever, and I should know that.
Nickname Nuxty.
Compiler.
That is a classic compiler right there. Phil
Dangerous
Niekro
nickname.
in the Hall of Fame with 300 wins and 280 losses.
Jesus, he pitched for 24 years. He started 716 games.
He had a 3.35 ERA. I mean, that's legit good.
He pitched in Major League Baseball until he was
It's
48.
You're right, Stugotz. I stand corrected. It is my bad. I should have known. I think of Phil and Joe Niekro as the same kind of pitchers, and they are not. Joe Niekro was not a Hall of Famer, and Phil Niekro was. But go ahead and Google image search Phil Niekro so you could see please enjoy. I want you visually to enjoy what he looked like in a Braves uniform, and you tell me if that is a baseball Hall of Famer. The way that you look at bodies today,
It's like Christopher Lloyd.
you need.
He does.
He looks like
Doc Brown.
He looks like Gary Busey in that movie with Henry Rowan Gardner. What was it, Rookie of the Year?
He looks like a bit. Also, Gaylord Perry looked like this too. The old pitcher in the movie Major League, the old slop ball thrower. He's just an old man on the mound, is what he is. Jessica, what is your opinion here?
He looks like
That is
a
not
retired
him.
chemistry
Wait a minute.
professor.
That's him when he's still playing?
His hair is so long, and I think it's coming out of his ears.
He's wearing a polo under that shirt.
Listen to
That
me.
can't be right.
This is what.
He looks like Uncle Dick.
Listen, when you could throw the knuckleball
Uncle
the way
Dick got a
Phil
hold of
did,
one.
right?
He
He did.
did.
You could pitch
It's the
forever.
ear hair.
Yeah.
Greg Cody's Back in My Day, featuring in-flight magazines.
In-flight magazines. Slayed the pandemic. Traveling again. Big bird up. But something's different. I look in the seat pocket in front of me, and all I see is that cardboard pamphlet about the plane that nobody reads, the drink menu nobody needs, and the barf bag. Where's my in-flight magazine? Where did it go? Joni was right. Don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you got till it's gone. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot, and then stole my in-flight magazine. These staples of Americana predated even Greg Cody. Pan Am Airways published the first IFM in 1940. Now the high-flying mags are disappearing like donuts in a press box. Southwest Rag, augustly called simply The Magazine, is gone now. Delta Sky, gone. American Way, gone. Retired after 55 years. Alaska and Emirates Airlines, too, gone. Airline magazines falling from the sky one by one. Some others, like United Hemispheres, are now digital only. Blame the pandemic. COVID killed the in-flight magazine, or rather gave airlines an excuse to make a cutback like businesses did with remote meetings where the office buildings used to be. But more than that is to blame. The digital era stampeded the helpless handheld mag. In-flight entertainment and mobile browsing happened. Airlines have even claimed noble reasons for discontinuing their magazines, like how removing all of them makes planes lighter, which saves on fuel. Sounds like malarkey. Hurtling cabins once were full of rattling newspaper pages held wide. Then those disappeared, and then I was the last flyer still leafing through an in-flight magazine while everybody else was softly chuckling at a movie or listening to music with earbuds. I miss every bit of the airline magazine, the greeting from the airline president, the Penn and Teller at the Rio ad, the dating and hair restoration ads, and the one inviting me to invest in a home care franchise, things to do in Minneapolis, the list of top 10 steakhouses and America's best plastic surgeons, the crossword puzzle inevitably half-finished and poorly by a previous seat occupant. Oh, and the feature story on Southwest Customer Service Agent of the Month. You can't get that anywhere else. Most of all, I miss, anybody else remember Sky Mall? Oh, my gosh. It was Amazon before Amazon, only at 30,000 feet. Talk about built-in marketing. Bored flyers stuck in a cabin for 3 hours slamming cocktails are liable to buy anything, which Sky Mall offered. I'll never forget the time, after 3 or 4 deep eddies, I accidentally bought a life-size Bigfoot garden gnome for $2,250. Airlines, I will gladly pay extra if the bag I check is a pound too heavy. I'll put up with your cancellations and with a hot meal being replaced by a 1-ounce bag of pretzels. Just please give me back my in-flight magazine. See, I never played that Sudoku puzzle, but I sure did like knowing it was there. I'm Greg Cody, and that's how it was back in my day.
The game has changed. Weed is legal now with Stugotz and Greg Cody.
I'll tell a story if it makes you feel better.
Yeah.
When I first took the first edible I ever took was in New York, and at the time I was breaking the law. Okay, so now you can feel good about telling your story. And the guy told me, "Hey, just eat half of this." And so I ate half, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I didn't feel anything. And he begged me.
I do not mean to make excuses. I was raised by a tough and proud Cuban man, but I want to apologize to Diana Rossini for fundamentally stinking as a producer of the last segment. That's all. My father is here. I don't want to make excuses, but Sedano's here, my father's here, and Domino is here, and everything's moving too fast around here today. So I got Theo Zaslow next to Sedano, and I'm here with my father and Greg Cody, and I've asked Meadowlark Media to make a game show. Game shows, man, the media's collapsed. Hollywood's collapsed. It's the same 4 businesses that are running everything. Everything's collapsing around here. Game shows, those are cheap. Where's there a game show? And so Mike Ryan says, my Hungry Off's not good enough. I got a better idea. And so he produces whatever it is we're about to do here, which is, Mike, because I've never met Domino before, but I want to tell the audience to support Domino Saturday, January 17th at CCW's Rumble in the Jungle. He can get tickets. You can get tickets at ccwtix.com. What are we doing right now? You think you're going to pull off a game show in 10 minutes?
Well, you want to celebrate all things Cuban, so why don't we have a Cuban-themed game show? Devise 2 teams, the Le Batards versus Sedano and Tio Zaz, to find out quién es más cubano.
Okay, so all right, so the game is how Cuban are you, or who's more Cuban?
Yeah, but it's got a catchy little name and some imaging.
How Cuban?
No, it's called Domino.
Welcome and bienvenidos to Domino, the game show that settles who is a real Cuban around here. Here's your host, former CCW Southeastern Heavyweight Champion, El Caballo, El Tiburón, El Campeón, and current king of the territory, Domino.
Oye, ponte la pila, mi gente, de vuelta. Oye, también yo tengo el machete. You left that out of the intro, ¿ok? El machetazo. Oye, yo traigo aquí el machetazo siempre activado, acelerado, frustrado, complicado. Y aquí, hoy, vamos a ver. How Cuban are you, okay? Okay.
I got that part.
Okay, aquí vamos. Entonces, vamos a ver, porque aquí vamos a ver de verdad quién es el cubano arrepentido. De verdad.
All right, so I'm going to go first. My father and I are one team. Tio Zaz is formidable.
He's got that look in his eye.
He looks like the guy Poppy and I beat at Domino Park that one day.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
This is legitimate. These credentials are legitimate. Sedano and my father won a legitimate Calle Ocho Domino tournament in the streets.
It was like 15 years ago.
That was a long time ago.
All right, so Poppy,
the
game is, Poppy, is to find out how Cuban we are. So first question, Domino.
Aquí vamos, mira. Tú entras a casa de tu mamá, a casa de tu abuela. You go into your grandma's house, and you see ahí an aluminum can, all right, an aluminum tin, blue, de galletica, de cookies, the Royal Dance cookies. What is stored? ¿Qué ponen ahí en ese aluminum tin?
Oh, they put
Is it A, sewing supplies. B, nuts and bolts. C, galletica, unos cookies. Or D, unas pilas, unos batteries.
Cookies, always cookies.
No, Dad.
No.
Dad.
Bobby.
Dad.
Wow.
No, there's
Gonzalo.
never cookies in there.
No
cookies. No, the cookies are gone. You already ate them.
They're sewing.
Wow.
They're sewing supplies.
A huge
Bobby.
mistake. Domino, what is the right answer?
The right answer, sewing supplies.
See?
Bobby.
Everyone knows this.
Bobby.
Look, you guys
My
are
mind is set up on the cookies. That's it.
look, you guys are struggling already. So let me tell you, you do have something at your disposal. You can phone a friend at any point in this game, and we have a Cuban expert on the line that can help you out. So just keep that in mind. We move on, Domino.
Ok, la próxima. Pero papi, yo pensaba que tú ibas a tener esa, bro.
Para nosotros.
Ok, mira.
Las galletitas tú siempre te las comes.
Hacer las galletitas.
Las galletitas, so I gotta tell you.
Nunca están ahí.
Hungry. He wanted it to be cookies.
Ok, la próxima.
Guy came in hungry. He was like chowing on bagels.
Oye, atención, ok.
Dale, perdón.
If someone says, dale, what are they saying? Okay? Go, quoting Pete Boone, Mr. 305, or all of the above.
Oh, this one's easy. You ready?
Yeah.
I'll just take it. D, all of the above.
All the above.
Papi, ¿cómo vas? ¿Cogieron un punto?
Yeah, they got
Fallaste,
okay, that's
fallaste.
Okay, next time.
Okay, they got the point.
Dale.
So that's the sound that accompanies when you get it correct? What was the sound for getting it incorrect?
No.
We got a new game show. Metal Arc Media has a new cheap game show.
Ok, vamos, la próxima. Si tú eres cubano de verdad y estás aquí en Miami and somebody says, I'm 5 minutes away. A, are they 5 minutes away? B, are they 10 minutes away? C, half an hour? D, I haven't left yet.
Papi, no de la respuesta. Hold on a second, Papi. You're confident here? Because I don't trust you anymore.
I'm telling you, I'm hard to trust.
That's not an answer to my question.
Well, I would have thought you got the first
Papi,
one.
are you? I don't want. No, I want to phone a friend. I want to phone a friend.
Okay.
Dímelo, ¿qué volá?
Oh, Tony.
Is Tony the friend?
¿Qué vuelta? Oye, Domino, tú eres un caballo, tipo.
Claro, bro,
oye,
aquí cargado.
Oye, con el machete ese. Yo tengo machete también.
Afilado, bro. Tú sabes que tú tienes machete afilado también.
Y estamos espabilados aquí.
Mira, te están llamando porque tienen una pregunta.
¿Qué pasó? Rápido,
okay,
dale.
Mira, rápido. Mira, aquí Cuban Rambling. Aquí, mira.
But wait, is it going to be him that answers it or
He's
Jeremy?
going to give you his expertise.
Of
You can
course.
decide
I
to
want
follow
Tony. I don't want Jeremy.
You
doing
got
that.
Tony.
You got me.
You got Tony.
Mira.
¿Me llamaste a mí?
Sí, bro. Mira, if you're Cuban, what does I'm 5 minutes away mean in Miami? 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
No, don't even tell me. Yo estoy en la ducha, estoy en la casa. I haven't even left yet.
Dale, mi hermano. Ahí estamos.
Are you going with that answer?
Yes,
Cool.
Well, I already got the point.
Yes,
so
yeah.
it seems to be.
I said that out loud for Chris Cody.
Parece aquí everybody's on cafecito. Todo el mundo anda ahí medio acelerado, frustrado, complicado. No sé lo que está pasando aquí. Okay, number 4. What is the signature scent of a Cuban baby recién nacer? A, talco. B, agua violeta. C, baby powder. Or D, compota.
¿Cuál es la pregunta otra vez? Dime otra vez.
Mira, what is the signature scent of a Cuban baby?
Ajá.
A, talco. B, agua violeta. C, baby powder. Or D, compota.
All right, that one's a tough one, Zaz. I think we need to phone a friend here, Theo Zaz. All right, so who do we get?
No.
Okay, so
No, come on. Are you serious?
I'm
You guys
trying
are
to do the
sandbagging us.
translations in my head, and I don't know what talco is.
Oh, Jesus.
I think the second one is violet water, but water doesn't smell like anything. There's obviously baby powder makes sense. Compota, is that like the raspberry compote they do on Great British Baking Show?
Este tipo.
Compota, hey.
I would say it's C, baby powder.
Papi,
Baby powder wasn't C anyway.
It
Right?
wasn't C. That was one.
That was C?
Talco is one.
Well, wait, is talco and baby powder the same thing?
Yes, you doofus.
All right.
What kind of Cuban are you?
You can choose to follow his advice.
Este tipo, mira, el más arrepentido es ese, el que tiene el Indiana t-shirt.
Sí,
ese.
bueno, con la camisa esa, claro que es un arrepentido.
Al carajo este tipo.
So what is your answer?
You're sticking with baby powder?
No. We're going to go with agua de violetas.
Oh, look at the giggle
Mi
of my
gente.
dad. Look at dad knows
Otro
what a baby
punto.
smells like.
Dale!
You're a failure. Now you know the answers to the questions.
I couldn't answer it,
No,
though. They
not
were
that
too
one.
quick.
You had your chance to answer.
Yeah.
La próxima. Ok. Fill in the blank. Whose fault is it? ¿Por culpa de quién?
Papi.
De tu papá.
No, papi.
Well, then you answer.
Papi,
Arrepentido.
Fidel, papi.
Oh, Fidel,
Greg, you answer.
Fidel is out of the equation. He died about 15 years ago.
What? I need you guys to lock in the answer. You're not on the
What are
same
you
page.
going to go with?
What is the answer? What do you want to go with? The father's fault?
Sure, it's always your father's fault. That's what
It's
your
always-
mother tell you.
It's always
Culpa de Fidel.
Papi, siempre es culpa de Fidel, lo que sea.
Okay.
No.
Papi, ¿tú eres arrepentido? ¿Qué pasa aquí?
¿Qué está
Papi,
pasando?
how are we losing this game with you? How are you the least Cuban?
I forgot about Fidel.
We will never forget about Fidel.
Papi, on your behalf, Sedano, on your behalf, will never forget about Fidel. Out of love for you. What do you mean you forgot about Fidel?
I did. I mean, the guy died about 15 years ago.
Not the way that I expected it to go.
Yeah. Well, we've clinched, basically.
Mira, la próxima. I'm a little distraught because, you see, I've lost the accent now. I was rooting for my fellow Cubans, and I don't know what's happening.
I'm Cuban, bro. Tío here is too. Somewhat.
No sé, el tío se parece más cubano que todo el mundo aquí hoy.
Jonathan.
I want to play.
With a Y. With a Y. Jonathan.
I want to keep playing. Do we
All right.
have more questions?
Style points. Here we go.
We do. Alrighty. Alrighty, that's not very Cuban. Someone spills a drink on your floor. Un cafecito ahí.
You fell out of character there with the all righty.
Keep kayfabe. Keep Domino. Kayfabe, all right?
Mira. Yo entro a tu casa, se me cae un café, okay, se me cae un trago en el piso, se me cae el espagueti, el pan cubano, el Cuban sandwich, lo que sea, un pastelito.
Sí.
What are you reaching for to clean? Pinesol, Fabuloso, Mistolín, o Winde.
Hold on.
Pinesol.
I mean, it could either be Mistolín or Fabuloso.
Isn't
it's
that
only-
Pine Sol?
Winde.
Papi, tú sabes.
I'm going to go with Mistolín.
Papi, oh, my dad's judging you now. What's the correct answer, Papi?
Fabuloso.
That is correct.
No. Wow. We're going to count that as a steal.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we're just making rules up. That's a steal.
What
And
was it?
also
Was it
added
Fabuloso?
drama.
What's the answer?
Fabuloso.
Fabuloso? It's Fabuloso.
Wow, the Le Batard steal. I just made that rule up.
I know.
That's as close as I've ever felt to my father.
Pinesol, huh?
Okay. Aquí vamos.
I mean, Mistolín or Fabuloso. That was a toss-up.
It's close.
Okay, aquí vamos. La próxima. Next one, for those that don't understand. Who saved Elian Gonzalez en el mar, in the ocean?
Oh, my God.
Fill in the blank.
Papi.
¿Quién rescató a Elian?
¿Quién rescató?
La Guardia Costera Americana.
No. He went off the board. I'm going to go Dolphins. The Dolphins.
Whoa, wait. What's the official Le Batard answer?
Papi, the Dolphins. No.
The Dolphins? Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Wow, Cuban lore.
Larry Zonka.
It was the Dolphins.
Bobby, how are you getting all of these questions wrong? How is it possible that you, the most Cuban among us, has forgotten Elian and Fidel?
Oh, Elian. Yeah, I forgot about Elian. He must be a man by now.
Sí, no.
Yeah.
Es
All right.
comunista
Es
ahora.
comunista, sí. Es
Comunista,
comunista ahora.
yeah.
We got Dolphins that saved them, but we would have accepted Donato Dalrymple.
All right, is this the last one?
The last one. La última.
All right.
The grand finale. Okay? Aquí vamos. What food item will the Miami Hurricanes, okay, in the day of the national championship at the tailgate, si no se ponen las pilas, ¿qué van a comer los Indiana Hoosiers eso? ¿Qué comida van a comer? ¿Qué vamos a repartir ahí el lunes?
Oh, Jesus. I know what it is.
Yeah.
Say it.
Papi, do you know? Well, hold on. My father does not know, and if you say it to my father's face, he's going to get disoriented, offended, and not allow you to say it
Good.
on the show. Papi, you think you know?
Oh, I got it.
No.
But it's our question, no?
No, but he's surely going to get it wrong.
Yeah, that's the way this game's been going.
He's going to get it wrong.
Okay,
and
dale.
then-
Croquetas, muchas croquetas.
Wow, this is really disappointing.
No. Ready?
Dale.
Yeah.
Papi, watch this. Just watch what he's about to say here, what Indiana's about to get, okay?
¡Banco Pinga!
Se acabó el pan para comer el lunes. Y si no se ponen las pilas, lo voy a repartir yo mismo. Dale.
We won, Tío.
Croquetas.
Good job, even without Jeremy's sorry ass.
Sazo killed it.
Yeah.
Pero mira,
Sazo was great.
as the host of the show, mira, los ganadores siempre son los cubanos, fíjate eso.
Sí. Dale.
Domino, thank you for your time. I will tell the people again, support the people who support us Saturday, January 17th, CCW's Rumble in the Jungle. You get tickets at ccwtix.com. I want to play Domino again on Monday night during the live stream. Can we get him back here?
Yeah, he's working at Las Rosas.
My father, really, I can't believe, Papi, you were not more
Papi, ¿qué te pasó ahí?
Cuban than that.
Stage fright? It's
Hey,
been a while.
hey,
pasó?
Domino, you were great, pal.
Gracias, hermano.
Where'd you go to
Sí,
school?
gracias, Domino.
Yo fui para Class of 06, Christopher Columbus.
No, of course.
Oh, wow. Another Columbus guy.
Another one.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. Sedano, Columbus is gloating right now.
Now listen.
Sedano, you feel this as a lifelong. Thank you, Domino.
I'm a Pace High School Opalaka to the core guy. It's okay.
So we know what the private schools.
I went to the private school with like black people and like girls. You know, I mean, so that
Sedano,
Mine had girls.
Sedano. So we did it in Broward, but the private school Cubans in Miami, Columbus has been the most annoying. They never get to be this kind of the best at everything.
Yeah.
Never in Miami. Columbus doesn't get to be better than Northwestern at football.
No, and basketball. They just had the Boozer twins for God's sake.
Yes, this is never in the history of Miami happened where you've got this absurdity at the top of this sport.
Have you seen the arms race, though? Belen's trying to keep up with Columbus in basketball.
Really? Interesting.
They have a good team.
My Pace High School was ahead of the curve because, you know, we were the first to have, like, I don't know, all the races in the one school. Now everybody else has followed suit.
Opalaka will do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bobby, I can't believe what happened
So
to you
bad,
in that
Bobby.
game. Nobody can believe what an upset that was. Cody, what level of stunned are you that my father among us, that Diozaz kicked Poppy's ass?
I know. I think it's the seat. I think it's the seat.
I swung and missed a couple of times, that's all.
You're the whiffer, buddy.
I'm the whiffer, that's right. Do you remember the whiffer?
Yes, my father would call Giancarlo Stanton the whiffer when it was only the three of us on an elevator. But I will tell you a story from the other day that my father revealed to me that I was not aware of, that he rekindled a really funny childhood memory, Poppy. What was the name of the double reverse with a pass that we ran for your offense in the huddle? What would that play be called?
The coochie coochie with the keys.
That's also incorrect.
Yeah.
It's his play.
That would have been quite a name.
It's the hoochie coochie with a kiss.
What, like Charo?
It is not the coochie coochie with a kiss. I would never use you as a cultural appropriation to exploit your Cuban for my uses. I would never do that. Zaslow, congratulations on you and Sedano winning the game show. Oye.
Oye.
Papi, pan con pinga, you missed that. What happened?
Pan con timba.
Papi.
Might have aged out of Domino.
Pan con pinga.
Oh, I thought that was the difference between ping and timba.
Genuine shock on his face.